Railcare as a business is a maintenance, repair and overhaul business of rolling stock for the railway. We particularly specialise in some forms of vehicle intervention. We have a division which deals with incident, so when there are accidents or suicides or other incidents to do with rolling stock. And we recently established a business dealing in spares and the logistics of spares around the supply chain. The business had lost significant amounts of money, and up until the point I joined the company, the last 10 consecutive months had seen it lose in excess of £500,000 a month, which of course is not a sustainable position to be. But when I took responsibility for the company, actually the company had no forward order book. It was rapidly running out of cash, and we had a contract in process which was going very badly wrong. So it had all of the ingredients of failure. The company had a reputation in the market for variable quality but generally poor, and it was associated with a perception that it was poor at project management of large contracts, and the industry is characterised with very significant, sizable, contractually onerous contracts. The industry is very low volume, very high variety, so in any job there's nothing that essentially is repeatable. So although jobs are similar in nature, you're learning the specifics of the type of train you're working on with each contract. I'd read The Gold as a young man, and very much liked the approach that Goldratt took in the book, and I like the simplicity of the concepts within Goldratt's theories. I'd applied to get a new copy of The Gold, and I read it again. And as a result of applying for the book, I was contacted by Goldratt UK. And in those early conversations, it became clear, to me at least, that there was a way that we could work together that would be significant and actually make a substantial change to the business.
In previous times, it was clear that a lot of momentum had been lost through a poor decision making in what was the priority task to be undertaken. And therefore there was a tendency that the projects would start late. The issues that were missed during the enablement just transferred themselves directly into the operations. So again, it's just exacerbating the issues in early production. So what was tended to happen in the past is that the symptom would be dealt with, i.e. it felt that there was an operational issue and that there was things within the operation that needed to change. However, when you look at the root cause, it was essentially the poor enablement that had created the problems for production. So the poor enablement really put the pressure on operations, which then made it very ineffective and generated a high level of poor utilisation and poor efficiency within the workforce.
The customers were generally unhappy, I think, because there was always a thought that the due date was at risk. Being able to demonstrate a methodology that clearly showed control from start to finish gave them the confidence that we would meet those dates, and therefore that we as a business would be a good company to partner. And I think that stood us in good stead, not just delivering the projects that we have or had at the time, but for future projects and for future sales.
What we found is we've been constantly forced to change them and update them. Numerous iterations. I mean, on this project we had using the critical path method. We went through a horrendous project plan that was something like 2,500 lines long, micromanaging the detail, and it was never ever up to date or never accurate. A huge difference I found with the critical chain method was that I always knew where I was, always knew it was up to date, it was robust, very, very simple, and it was easy to communicate where we were, which is what everyone was really after.
Critical chain project management allowed us to identify danger areas, areas where we're likely to slip, and yes, it gave us early warning so we could avoid those problems in some cases. In other cases we were aware of the problem, we couldn't get rid of it completely, but we could take steps to mitigate it, and as a result I think we were benefiting from the use of this system.
We've had a step change within the process. We were making to order on nearly all of our products, but we're now in a position where we can make to stock, and that means that we are feeding buffer stocks that are ready to be delivered, and that's fantastic because it means we really ensure a due date. We're completely de-risking the delivery.
The customers that have projects going through our factory are certainly happier with the results that they are seeing. What's interesting is we don't have a great deal of customers. We work in a market where there are only possibly 30. So at any one time you are very likely to have a customer where you have a project going through the factory and you're also tendering for future work. So the performance of that project is critical to your ability to win that future order book and secure it. So for us, being able to stand up and say, yes, we will hit that due date, and yes, we can demonstrate clearly how we are in control of the processes that lead up to that delivery, is fantastic.
In this year, we've enabled, begun, and are delivering 3 significant contracts which are on time, to cost and to quality, with no major issues. Since privatisation, this business has not done that. So in 16 years, this is the first time this business has delivered 3 contracts simultaneously like that.
From a business point of view, we overachieved in the last financial year, and that was a major plus point for an organisation that in the previous years has struggled to perform to its requirements. So for the morale of the workforce and as a general manager of the site, it's very pleasing to see that you can get results quite quickly with little cash impact.
We are in the best shape that we could be to face what's an incredibly difficult market at this time, having had the world go through the financial crisis that it went through. I'm convinced had we not done what we've done, we wouldn't be here now.